Okay, we are going to work on a project called the Correction Creature. So we're going to be looking at the correction tools in Photoshop and how we can use them in our own artwork. What I want you to pay attention to is, first of all, let's make sure that your workspace is set up. So go to Window, Workspace, Reset Essentials, just to make sure everything looks like mine. As a reminder, we have several artboards that we're going to be working with here. And you're going to want to make sure you're on the correct layers for the appropriate artboard. The first thing we're going to look at is the spot healing brush. So I'm going to toggle down here and spot healing brush. It's down here. There we go. And there's our lovely portrait. We're going to be looking specifically at these tools over to the left. The spot healing brush tool, the remove tool, the healing brush tool, the patch tool, and the content aware move tool, and the red eye tool. So this is where they're located. If you don't see what you're looking for, click and hold, and then you can select one of these. Great, so we're going to use our zoom tool and we're going to zoom in. I'm going to hold down my space key and I can actually drag this so it's in the middle. But I want you having your workspace fill up your whole area so that you can see what you're doing. Okay, as you can see, this is a gorgeous person, but they've got a little bit of acne and they've got a few little like sun damage spots that we're going to fix on them. So the first thing I want you to do is we're going to get the spot healing brush, and this is just meant to fix little areas. So you bring out your brush and you can see the size of it here. What I'm going to do is use my bracket keys, which once again are under my plus equal key on my keyboard, and I'm going to make it about the size of my acne spot down here, and I can plus it minus, and all I have to do is click and I'm getting rid of that. Just got a little bit of sun damage over here and here and here. I don't want to hide those freckles because I absolutely love freckles. So we're not going to get rid of that. Also, we're going to make her eyes match this beautiful lavender hair. So how we're going to do this, there's several different ways. I'm just going to show you a few additional tools doing it this way, but I want you to grab your ellipse tool, which is under your shapes, and we're going to make the ellipse the same color as her hair. So I'm going to sample my hair. Again, I get the foreground color here and I hit the eyedropper out on her hair and I get that beautiful purple. Great. So I'm going to click and drag it there. I can hold down my space key to move it again, and you can see it has a fill of purple and a stroke of 0. Great. And then I'm going to also I'm holding down my space key to move it here as well. Perfect. So now over here you can see I have my two ellipses. I'm going to click them both and I'm going to say rasterize layers, which is fine. And then I'm also going to merge layers. Now these are on two things and I'm just going to call it ellipse, or we can call it eyes so I remember what it is. And I'm going to take my eraser tool over here to my left. Ooh, that's a really big brush. I'm hitting my bracket key to make it smaller. And why isn't it working? Oh, there we go. Make sure that our settings were correct. And I had something wrong up there. Okay, great. Now what I'm going to do is also apply a filter to it. So I'm going to go to filter and I'm going to go to blur and I'm going to go to Gaussian blur and I'm going to put just a little bit. It's just going to blend the edges just a little bit, so I'm going to put it to there, and then I'm going to put the blending mode to color. Okay, great. Now they have eyes that matches their beautiful hair. Great. The last thing we're going to do, we're going to pretend, I'm going to also hit save. Keep hitting save. Okay. Okay, make sure we do that. Oh, could not save. It was not valid. Great, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to Save As if something weird like this happens, and I'm going to just save this as the second version and hit save, and now we should be okay. Sometimes Photoshop does weird things, as you guys know, so I just went to Save As, so I'm glad we got to see this. Now, make sure you're on the portrait layer, and you're going to go back to your corrections, and here is the remove tool. We're going to grab it, and we're going to just paint the little red over her nose ring. It's not going to be perfect, but we're going to cover it. I think the nose ring is cute, but we're learning a Photoshop tool. So it may take a second. Okay, and there it is. It's not perfect, but it's gone. And we're just trying to learn how to do it. So we're gonna hit save. We're done with Artboard 1. Okay, we're gonna close that one. Now let's go to the healing brush over to the cows. I'm gonna click on the cow layer, holding down my space bar to move with my hand, and here we go. So we're going to remove the lower barbed wire from across the cow's faces with the healing brush. Okay, so let's get the healing brush. And here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Oh, you get an error. Option click to define a source point to be used. Okay, so this is how you do it. As it said to use option click. So it's going to sample pixels and remove those things based off the pixels you choose. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure my brush is the size of the widest area, which is going to be a little bit right there. Okay, so I'm going to go right above this, and I'm going to hit my option key, and I'm going to click. Perfect. Okay, so now you can see these pixels are coming down with me. Now I'm going to click and drag and work on this. Okay, I'm then going to come over here. I'm going to click and drag. I'm going to be just a little bit more careful on their faces. Z. I'm going to click. I got a little bit of barbed wire, so you can just go back and do that. Okay, great. And I'm going to click and drag over here. Okay, so we almost have the barbed wire. Now I'm going to go in a little bit closer. Okay, and I'm going to click and drag in here. Great. I'm going to click. Actually, I'm going to click right here. Ooh, no, I don't like that. Let's see. I'm going to do a little bit closer. There we go, to try to get that edge to line it up. So once again, we're just painting with pixels. I'm going to bring the size of my brush down just a little bit. And I'm going to get this. And you can see it looks real fake there. So what I can do is go in and just add in a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to use this again. I'm going to adjust my size. And I want you to get rid of all of that. Okay? I'm going to adjust my size again. I will say, this is the most tedious part. Come on, it is not sampling those darker ones for some reason. I can go back and figure it. This will be the most tedious artboard, but I love painting with pixels. I think it's fun. So you can go in and do that as much as you want. Okay, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a more defined edge in here, which will help where that was at. See, I'm going to go here. Yeah, in there. Great. See if I can get out some of that. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's good enough for what we're doing. Okay, the barbed wire is gone from over there. let's come over here and work on it here. All right, there's my tool. And hit this. Okay, sampling the pixels. Whenever you see it turn into this, I am hitting the Option key to sample new pixels. Okay, put in a nice edge. There we go. Okay, I'm going to smooth it out in here just a little bit. All right, so we removed the barbed wire from the cows. I'm going to hit Command S to save. And then I'm going to remove the tag from this cow's right ear using the patch tool. Okay, so let's zoom in on this, and I'm going to get the patch tool. And what we're going to do is I'm going to draw around this area that I want to replace. Great. And then I click and drag what I want it to be replaced with. So there looks like a pretty similar area, and I'm going to let up, and then Photoshop does thinking for me, and it says it averages out the two, and this is what it looks like. So now, boom, look at our cows. Beautiful. And then we're going to use the remove tool. Let's get rid of that blade of grass right there. It's kind of distracting now. I'm going to let it think. Kind of takes it a moment because this is AI. Okay, gets rid of it. Perfect. Couldn't you say, Miss Brown, couldn't I use the remove tool for the other stuff? You could, but the remove tool doesn't always work, and so you need to know how the other ones work so you have an arsenal of tools if you want. Command S to save. Perfect. Next one. Oh, look at this puppy. I love puppies. Okay, now we're going to use the content aware move tool. Okay, so we're going to come over here, and we're going to kind of put this dog in the center. There we go. And what we're going to do is draw around the puppy as close as you can get. Okay. Make sure none of the dog is not selected. So I'd rather have a little bit more of the snow than the dog. And then you will notice, whoops, I need to make sure I'm on the right layer. There we go. That's why it wasn't working. And then you get this option. And what I want you to do is move the puppy to the left in the snow, okay? And you're going to let go. Now it's going to give you this bounding box, and I want you to hit return. Okay, so it removes that area. We got the dog over to the left, which is really good. Okay, so, and then we're going to deselect. We're going to use the quick selection tool because we want to put this on a Christmas card. And let's, I'm going to use the selection brush tool or the quick selection, whatever you want to use here. And I'm going to select this bandana the best that I can. Okay, I'm going to use my Option key to delete it a little bit from there. And I'm going to add a little bit there. Okay, and a little bit there. Okay. Ooh, it got it a little bit here. I don't want it there. All right, good enough. So now I want you to go to your brush tool, and I want you to go to color replacement tool. And then I want you to turn your foreground color into some beautiful Christmas red. Our client wants us to make this a Christmas card for them, and they want this to be used. Okay. Why isn't it working? I don't know. tolerance. Let's see if we do this. Okay. The color replacement tool. Did I choose that one? Yes, I did. And let's try this again. Okay, for some reason it's working now. So there is a lesson for you that if it's not working, I reset it to black and red and I used it. Okay, so I'm just going in and bringing in the red on this, and it is replacing that duller blue color with this red color. So remember, if a tool's not working for you right away, just back away and be like, okay, what's going on? How can I fix it? For some reason, when I reset the foreground background color, it worked. Okay, great. So I'm going to deselect. There's my puppy dog. Oh, so cute puppy dog with his Christmas bandana. And now we're going to use the clone stamp tool, which is over here, clone stamp, and it has a two-step process as well. Okay, so I want to smooth out the snow where this dog was, and I'm going to sample by clicking Option and then clicking my mouse to sample it, and I'm going to start smoothing out that snow. So then if I wanted to go back in here and add lettering that said, like, you know, Merry Christmas from the Smiths and Jake the dog, you have this whole area that looks nice for you to do it. You can also, there's a little bit of a halo on the dog, so you could even bring this down, hit the clone tool, and kind of get rid of that halo as well. Closer we get, the better. Okay, so we blended them in pretty well. So let's, all right. So there is the Content Aware Move tool. Let's make sure, and I'm going to hit Command S to save, just in case Photoshop closes down on me. All right, next one. Oh my goodness, we're in Venice. I love it. I can't wait to do it. We're going to close this up, make sure I'm on the right layer. So now we're going to do the Content Aware Fill. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the boat with the lasso, just to the best of your ability, real rough there, okay? And then you're going to right click and it will say Content Aware Fill. Let's see what it does. Okay, if this comes up, that's great. It kind of shows you how well it does it. And you just say, okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. I can't wait to see what that does. And then what we're going to do is then we're going to select the wake for where the boat is. So we want no evidence that there was ever a boat in this canal in Venice. We want it to make it look like it's not inhabited at all. So we select it and we're going to make sure that our contextual taskbar is activated. And then I want you to click Generative Fill, but you're not going to type anything and you're going to hit Generate. And it's going to take a second. This is AI technology, so it takes a little bit. There we go. How beautiful does that look? Okay, so there's also some variations over here to the right, and you can see which one looks best to you. But I'm doing this for a travel brochure, and this looks like the calmest water to me. It looks like nobody's on the canal. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to select the sky. But first you can see I want to merge my layers here. And so I'm going to select them, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to hit merge layers, okay? So now that is all one beautiful image. Love it. And I'm going to call this Venice just so I remember what's going on. And now I'm going to use this tool and I'm going to select my sky. Didn't quite get it up here, so I hold down my shift key and I get it, and I'm going to hold down my shift key and get those little things. That's fine if they get covered up. I didn't quite get them all, so I'm going to get the marquee tool. I'm going to hold down the shift key and I can grab them that way as well. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to pull up Google, and I want you to put a beautiful sunset. Great. Go to images, tools, size, large, and I want you to pick an image that you think would go well with the setting, that it kind of looks like the same part of day. And so I'm going to choose, actually, I think this one, and I'm going to right click and hit copy image. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to go to edit, paste special, paste into. Boom, okay? But you can say, oh, Miss Brown, look, I didn't quite get it. That's fine. Hit Command T, okay? And you can resize it to fit in there. Oh my gosh, isn't that a beautiful travel photo? I want to go there already. Okay, and I'm going to hit Command S to save. This is absolutely everything that we're going to do for this artboard. So let's go to the next one. Oh my gosh, look at this girl. She's crazy. Okay, let's go to red eye. Let's make sure we're on the correct layer. And we are next going to select the red eye tool, which is over here. And look, it has a little eye with a plus sign. Okay, so what you're going to do is keep drawing on this red spot until all the red is gone. It's that easy. Keep going. Keep going. You can also change the thing up here so it maybe will take you less selections. Okay, I'm going to move that all the way up. Okay, great. Now I'm going to do it over here. Oh my gosh, darken them out. Pupil size, it's pretty darn big. Let's keep going. We're going to move this back down. There we go. Remember, if it doesn't work for you like you think that it should, then you just go and you adjust it. I'm going to keep going. Okay, and now we have all that red out of the eye perfectly. So next we're going to use the brush heal, spot healing, and we're going to get rid of her little acne there, and she's got a little mark there. Great. And I can't tell if that's acne or a freckle, so we're just going to get rid of these little sunspots as well. For looks like that may be a scar. See if she has anything else. Nope, she looks pretty good. Okay, got her all cleaned up. Great, so we have that. Now we're going to use the dodge tool, and it is over here. Okay, so we're going to grab the dodge tool and we're going to lighten her eyes to make her look a little more scary. How's that sound? Okay, I can make my brush size a little bit bigger. I want to make sure it says highlights, and I put the exposure at 20. Make sure your settings are like Miss Brown's, okay? And it lightens up photos in certain places. We're just gonna make this look bonkers. You could, of course, color balance it to make it look a lot better. Okay, next we're going to go to the burn tool, which looks like a little hand. And what we're going to do is we're going to darken the edges of the face. So we're gonna turn this into shadows, exposure 12, and we're going to make their eyes pop even more by darkening the edges of her face. So we're bringing attention even more to the center of the photo. So I'm just going to keep going in here, keep darkening. Great, boom. That's what I got. Okay, then the next thing that we're going to do is to grab the sponge tool. And what I want you to do is to grab Saturate Great. I want you to make it the brush size about the size of here. And what we're going to do is we're going to brighten up the blue-green of the size. This person has such a pretty color. We're going to pop it even more, make those eyes even more vivid. Okay, great. We made the eyes even more vivid. And now up here where it says mode, we had it on saturate. I want you to turn it to desaturate. And I want a really big brush. And I want you to make everything except for their eyes. We're going to take the color out of those pixels, okay? So I'm going to do that. I'm graying this up. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller and get in closer around those eyes. I want to keep the eyeballs the only actual thing with a little bit color, and we're going to fade into it. So it's okay if there's a little bit of flesh color there around the eyes. I'm going to make it bigger. And here we go. Okay, that is genuinely frightening. And that's what we want to do. Okay, so now I want to hit Command S. We're saving. We're closing this art panel, and we're going on to this one. Now, here's our creature feature. Here is our classic monster, and we're going to fix this, okay? So this is Creature of the Black Lagoon, and we're going to resize the photo so that it touches the left and right sides, and there should be white above it when we're done. So I'm going to hit Command T, or you can grab the Move tool, and do not hold Shift because I don't want to make this appear weird, and then I'm going to hit Return. Okay, so now you can see that I have a little bit of space above and below. Perfect. What I want you to do is to grab your marquee tool, and I want you to grab a little bit of the water by the monster, and then hold down your Shift key, and I'm going to select the bottom, and once again I want a little bit of the photo with it. Okay, so you can see I've got a little bit of the photo selected there, and I've got a little bit of the photo selected there. Beautiful. Once again, make sure that you have your contextual taskbar selected, okay? And then it will say generate new content with or without prompts, and you can say yes. Oh, there we go. We're on the right one now. Okay, so generate expand. It's not working. Great. We're going to ratio, original ratio. And sometimes it doesn't work. Oh, there it goes. It's because I was on the wrong tool, people, okay? So this is what it is. Make sure that you're on the Move tool and not the Crop tool. Now you're going to hit Generate Fill. Woo! We got it. And we're going to hit Generate Fill, and you're not going to type anything in the prompt. Just leave it, and then you're going to hit Generate. Now, this is AI working, and it's going to guess what those white areas should look like with that photo. Okay, there we go. So let's look at the different options. So that one looks a little weird. That one looks great. This one looks great too. So you can see the different variations here. I'm going to choose variation 2. I love it. I'm going to select it with the creature, right click, and hit merge layers. And I'm going to call this the creature layer. Great, beautiful. I love it. Okay, now we're going to use select subject, and we're going to try to get the creature. Okay, it did an okay job, so I'm going to go in with the quick selection tool. I'm going to make my brush size a little bigger, and I'm going to use the minus sign, and I'm going to tighten up this selection. I still want this, so I'll let up my, on a little bit of his claw there. Okay, grab that. Great. Make it a little smaller. Great. And we're just practicing, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but do your best. I could spend hours trying to make this selection even better, but get 97% of them there. Oopsie, that's too much. I'll leave his claws out of it. Okay, so now I want to do some color stuff just on him. I am going to tighten this up. So what I'm going to do is I can hit Command J. Now look over here. So it created a new one. So I'm going to now call this Swamp, and I'm going to call this one Creature. Okay, so I can now manipulate the creature, but it keeps everything that's underneath it intact, which is exactly what I want it to do. Okay, so I'm going to select the Swamp one, okay, and I'm going to go to Image Adjustments, and I want to take it to Hue Saturation, and I'm going to change the saturation to -100, which this is another way that I can turn a photo black and white, and hit OK. Beautiful. And then I'm going to select the creature image, and I'm going to go to Image Adjustments, and I'm going to take this one to Vibrance. I'm sorry, I'm going to take it to Saturation. I love it. And we're going to take the saturation to +100 because we just want to make this just, what do I want to say? Just very vibrant. It's going to have a real pop look to it. Okay? And then you're going to go to, we're going to select the creature again, go to Adjustments, and I want you to go to Color Balance. And then I want you to hit the red all the way across, the green this way, and the blue all the way across. Okay, so to give it kind of a poppy feel. And I want you to make sure that you preserve luminosity as well. And we're going to hit OK. Perfect. One last one. We're going to once again go to Image, Adjustments, Photo Filter, there it is. And then I want you to choose the Warm Filter 85. Make sure, yep, there it is, with a density of 100. And make sure you preserve luminosity or he looks like that. And then hit OK. All right, and then we're going to add a radial over the top of him. We're trying to make him kind of look like an old-fashioned photo. So we have a gradient. Make sure we have a gradient. I want you to go from transparent to black, and you're going to choose the radial up here. And then we can take this and make it large. I'm going to hold down my space key to kind of realign it, and there we go. So that's called a vignette, when you have light on the inside and almost black on the edges. And then we're going to say save. Okay? If you don't have the gradient that you want for sure, you can come over to the properties and you can adjust it as needed as well. Okay, creature and woman is our very last one. And you can configure it however you wish using at least 5 of the tools and the settings and all the different adjustments that we did in the previous artboards. You get to choose at least 5, okay? You also must fill in this area above the creature with some kind of generative AI. Okay, so make sure that you get that filled in as well. I do not want to see you just transforming it. I want the creature and the woman to stay the same, and I want you to edit the rest of it. Okay, save it as a PSD only and turn it into Schoology. This was a lot of tools all at once. I appreciate you hanging in there with me, and I can't wait to see what you do to the creature and the woman to make it your own artwork. Have